Hello everyone, and once again welcome to another AKB48 news update. Remember, this is every week. You can subscribe to keep up to date when I update the news. And also, if you check out a couple days ago, I did a photo book review of a classic photo book. Be sure to check it out. If you're not sure what's going on or it's your first time, you can always check the top right of the screen and see what section you're on, whether it's AKB48, Graduated, or the 46 group. And this time it's actually pretty slow on the 46 side. Usually I'm 46 heavy, but this time there's actually a lot in the Graduated news. So without further ado, let's start. Oh, and also there's a little bit of controversy, as you'll see, with AKB versus Nogizaka coming up. So first off, I want to start with Yokoyama Yui, and that's that she's in a new commercial. The commercial is for JR Bus. Now, if you're not familiar with Japan and their public transportation, this is actually a bus line that people usually take. I mean, she took it all the way from wherever she was, all the way to Tokyo when she was a research member, which I imagine is part of the reason why they chose her. I mean, other than she's the general director, she had to take that bus every week when she was a research student, and she had to take that travel with this bus line. And she actually does talk about this in the commercial, so links are down below for the commercial. And she's actually the ambassador for the JR bus line, and I'm not really sure what ambassadors do really. I know Takayama Kazumi was one, Akimoto Saika was one. There's so many ambassadors that I really don't know what they do, but I just hear it, so I report it. Now next up, if you remember last week, I talked about Nogizaka and their coming of age ceremony that they did, and now AKB48 did one this week. It was at the Kanada Jinja Shrine, January 9th, 2017. Now the reason why I mentioned this is because two kind of things stuck out to me. Number one was Momoka, who actually wore a suit instead of the traditional kimono to the event. She says it's to commemorate her father, who works at the train station. I'm not too sure what he does, but it's meant to commemorate him, which I thought is pretty cool of her to do. And plus she likes being a little unique, so I can see how that appeals for her. And second is that Matsui Rina actually says she wants to be number one, like she says every year. But this time it's special because she says that Sashi and Mayu, when they were 20, they got first place. So she says, hey, I turned 20, it's my turn to get first. So continuing that trend is something she wants to do. And it's up to the fans really to see whether they'll shell out their wallets for her. And I guess it's also AKS to see if they push her way more than they pushed her before. But with Sashi being in the Sosenkyo, it will be kind of hard to imagine her not winning. I mean, the fans will really have to go in depth in order to make her win. I mean, even in the NHK thing, she didn't get top 10. I think she was number 11 or somewhere around that. But she didn't get a high spot than usual. So that leaves you wondering whether it's just people shelling out money or it's the amount of fans that she gets. Next up, we have in the news Kashiwagi Yuki. Now with her, if you remember or not, she's actually not only an AKB48 member, she's also an NGT48 member. I know sometimes you don't remember because the only time she's really been there is a couple theaters and that one show. But she has actually returned to the theater for the first year anniversary. And the last time she was actually at the theater was 7 months ago. Now that's a while. I mean, if you're in two groups, you kind of have to dedicate yourself to both of the groups. You can't be like, oh yeah, I'm in AKB, but I'm in NGT too, but forget about that. And I mean, clearly she doesn't have as much responsibility as Rina, who's the captain of NGT. But I mean, at least she could go to the theater once in a while more. I mean, even with their busy schedule, being a model, being in different commercials, and being in so many different things, I imagine it's kind of the duty for the members to do it, right? I mean, even Rina, when she appeared in the theater for SKE, it was kind of news too, so that kind of doesn't surprise me. And next up, we have some controversy between AKB and Nogizaka, and that's whether or not Nogizaka will beat AKB in 2017. Now, AKB48 Daily did this article on the concert sizes comparing AKB and Nogizaka with their graduating members in February. And for those of you who forgot, it's actually Nanami from Nogizaka and it's Koji Haru from AKB, top members of their own group. And both of them having graduation concerts pretty much identical days will be very hard for fans to pick who they want. Koji Haruna's graduation is going to be 2 days, and the capacity of the arena is actually 13,000. So in total, that's around 26,000 capacity for people. Meanwhile, on Nanami's side, we have 3 days, and the capacity for the arena is 30,000, which makes it 90,000. So we have 90,000 versus 26,000. Now, that's a very wide gap. For graduating members, top of their class in the own group, it's kind of weird to see that difference. Now, of course, AKB48 Daily did not take into account that Nogizaka's 5th anniversary concert is during the same event. So I imagine that's why management got a bigger arena and such. If it was just Nanami graduation, I'm seriously wondering how big the arena would actually be. But I mean, I guess it is a little bit rarer to see a Nogizaka graduation than an AKB graduation. But I mean, Kojima is like top of her class in AKB48. Now, of course, this doesn't take into consideration the online views and the sales that the concerts will get afterwards. So taking that into account, we have to see how those numbers are. But one thing that I do want to bring up is that Nogizaka actually sold more things. And by things, I mean CDs, DVDs, posters, all of that, than AKB did last year. So this leaves a question in my mind. Has the gap between Nogizaka and AKB been closed? And can Nogizaka actually beat AKB this year? Will this be the year of Nogizaka? Is the rivalry real now? Hopefully we get new stuff from management to show this rivalry finally coming to action. Not like before, how it was just like, oh yeah, they're rivals, but now they actually get to compete for stuff. It's going to be an interesting year if that happens for sure. But that does it for AKB48 news. Let's move on to the graduated news. Now, first up is Takajo. Now, former AKB member is actually going to be in a stage play. Now, we haven't seen much from her actually, other than that, that dating incident that happened. But now she's actually in something that people can actually go see. And the name of this stage play is actually Jiman no Otoko. Now, all I know is that Otoko means man. No is the possessive. Don't know what the other word means. But the stage play will actually be in Ikebukuro, which is actually a pretty poppin' place. And that'll be February 21st to 26th this year. Again, super cool to see her do other stuff. Haven't heard much big news about her since the fact that she was dating after graduating, which isn't that surprising. But glad to see more stuff from her. Now, next up is about one of my favorites, Kawaei Rina. Now, Kawaei Rina has been in the news a lot. If you watch my other weeks, you can see that she's actually been talked about a lot. And that's because she's actually in a lot of stuff. I think of the graduated members, she's like one of the most active, which is super sad to see her go from AKB after the incident. I wish she could have stayed longer. I think she would have been like one of the top members for sure. But I mean, now she's doing great for herself. So I don't know if that's just timing or if it's just her ambition. But anyway, about her is that she's in a new commercial. Now, in this commercial, she's actually in a school setting where people are taking tests. Now, this is kind of weird because she's actually known for being dumb. If you watch the show Mechaike, there's a AKB48 special where everyone takes a test. Well, not everyone, like the top members. The top members take a test to see who's the smartest and who's the dumbest member of AKB48. And Kawaei Rina actually lost so bad that she was declared the baka of the group. So it's kind of funny to see her in a commercial about testing and all that. I think the commercial's for like an insurance company or something like that. I read it like that. I'm not too sure if that's true. So be sure to check out that commercial down in the description down below. And also you get to see her speak some English. And I'm glad that she tried to pronounce it right, although it came out kind of choppy. But all the effort is there and appreciate her for that. Next up, one of my favorite members, talked about her 2 days ago. It's Matsui Rena. And that's that she will be the star lead actress in a new drama. Now this is for the 5th installment of Nagoya Iki Saishu Resha. Now I'm not too sure about this drama. I'm sure every episode is like a different story. This is why she's a lead actress in this volume. The main point is that she's a lead in this. And seeing her being in leads in dramas is super cool. She's a fantastic actress. So be sure to check that out February 6th to 9th. And that's it for graduated news. Let's move on to the 46 news, shall we? Now, first off the bat, I want to mention 2 commercials that the Nogi girls were in. One was Saito Asuka, who was actually in a commercial for like a job advertisement website. It's called Townwork. And in here, she's actually playing in the snow with this guy. And then she says she likes him. And then you get to see a surprise guest. Link is down below if you want to watch it. It's a funny commercial. I recommend you watching it. And the second commercial I want to talk about is with Ito Marika. Now, even though I couldn't remember her name, unfortunately, in my favorite Nogizaka46 member video. I have to say she's a really great member, and in this commercial it really shows how good she is. Now this commercial is for a video game. The title of the game is actually Gravity Daze 2, and in this commercial she has a cat, and the cat starts flying, and she chases the cat, and then she kind of flops around in the house, Inception style. It's a super cool video. I totally recommend you guys watching it. I mean, just watching it for the production alone, plus Ito Marika in there, just makes it awesome. Be sure to check it out. A link will be in the description below. And the final bit of news I want to talk about is with Ikoma Rina apologizing to fans. Now, this isn't because of a scandal or anything. She's actually apologizing for her behavior. On her blog, she apologized full Dogeza style, and she says the reason was because of her attitude and what she said during a TV show. The TV show was based on popular voice actors in anime and other stuff. It was on TV Asahi, and the show is called 200 Popular Voice Casters General Election 3-Hour Special. And the reason why she messed up is because she forgot one of her favorite characters' voice actors. It was the voice actor for Portuguese Ace from One Piece. Now, as she has said before, she's a big fan of One Piece, and for her to get this name wrong, I guess ticked off some anime fans. Which, I mean, I guess forgetting a voice actor is a big deal over there. I mean, over here, people barely remember voice actors in cartoons, let alone anime. But I guess this is a big deal for her to go on her blog and do a full Dogeza and apologize for what she has done. Now, even though she forgot the voice actor for Ace, the voice actor himself actually went on Twitter and said she supports Ikoma Rina. He said he is able to feel the love that she has for his character, which I think is super cool of him to go and, shush down the anime fans, saying, this girl is cool, like, don't worry about her. And I bet she's super happy about him actually saying something about this, and plus I bet she's fangirling because he mentioned her. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to share this video if you enjoyed it, like it if you liked it, and also you comment down below what you think about this whole AKB versus Nogizaka thing, and who do you think 2007's winner will be. You can subscribe to keep up to date with these news videos and the bi-weekly videos which I do. And as always, thank you all for watching.